the fear of graduating and then not knowing when you're going to have a paycheck. You're expected to kind of go out on your own all at once, so it's a big transition, especially when you don't really know what tomorrow is going to bring. If you're going to have a job or when that job's going to come and how much that job can offer and health benefits and all of that stuff.
What is Plan B? Income. Is your insurance up to date? Nobody likes to talk about it. I don't like to talk about it.
I feel like I was getting stuck into a corner. And as most, I think, women who are mothers and who are working, you feel like you have to do it all. And it's letting go. It's letting go and not feeling, though, as if I'm losing, my identity.
Different women, different concerns about money. These ideas that paralyze us are, according to one noted psychologist, myths that many of us secretly share. Myths, she says, that need to be put to rest. Let's start with our college student, Caitlin. Graduation is just around the corner. She hasn't begun her career, but listen to her worries.
I don't have like a retirement fund set up yet. I have a savings account and a checking account. It's overwhelming because you have to think about where you want to be. You think about a year from now, you have to think about where you want to be 10 years from then.
While she worries about these things, Caitlin is afraid the stuff she needs to learn will be too difficult.
As a communications major, personal finance, the numbers would scare me, the math.
Why is that? Like what scares you?
This is a generalization, but communications majors are on the opposite spectrum of mathematicians, so the numbers scare me.
Olivia Mellon is one of the few psychologists who specializes in dealing with money issues. Her books and research are internationally respected. She says Caitlin harbors some of the money myths that women need to debunk so that they can take charge of their money.
The myths are, I don't have enough money to do anything with. Money is too complicated for me to understand. That's for women who have math anxiety.
You hear that, Caitlin? You don't need to be a mathematician.
That's a total, utter myth. You need third grade math and sometimes a calculator to do everything you need to do with your money.
So what do you have to do to get over that?
You have to learn something about money every week. You have to put it on the radar screen. Find a money mentor in your life, take a course, just read a little something every week. My friend Barbara Stanley said she used to carry the money investment section of the Wall Street Journal into the kitchen with her, and while she was peeling carrots, she would skim it, hopefully not cutting her finger off. But it doesn't take much to just get on board. Women's investment clubs are a fabulous way to learn, absolutely fabulous. Just do something every week to address money in your life and feel more confident.
Oops, did she say investment clubs? The stock market is one place Caitlin doesn't like to shop.
I'm not a stock market kind of gal. I don't think ever. That's too scary for me. I don't want to make the money and then kind of put it in fate's hands. You work too hard to make those risks.
Sounds like we have another myth to bust.
If I take risks with my money, I'll lose everything. That's for women who are afraid to invest and therefore do nothing, which is the greatest risk of all because inflation eats up their money. This has to do with bag lady fears. Katie Couric told me before her husband ever died that she had bag lady nightmares. Why? Television was such a capricious medium. She could make the money and lose it tomorrow. Now, hopefully by now she doesn't feel that insecure. But I'll tell you, even heiresses have bag lady nightmares. They figured the money came to them magically, they can lose it just as magically. So it's really important to take moderate, intelligent risks with your money. That's the only way to make it grow. And women will outlive men, and they will make less, generally, from being out of the workforce, from taking care of everybody. So they really have to make their money grow. They have to.
One myth Caitlin never bought into.
If I'm lucky, some man or someone else will take care of my money for me. That's it. When I interviewed Gloria Steinem, she said this should be, if I'm unlucky, some man will pretend to be taking care of my money for me. And a family therapist that I interviewed said something similar. So in fact, if we're waiting for somebody else to save us, we're really on very shaky footing. Because a lot of men act confident and they're not very good with money.
Shauna Jones-Jacobs says she's relieved she didn't believe the old thinking about men being the masters of money.
I'm divorced about 6 years, but because I had parents who always told me to make sure you have things in line, the divorce wasn't as impactful. Why? Because I did have a savings on the side. I did have an idea of what I would do if something was to happen.
Our psychologist confesses that she wasn't as prepared as Shauna.
I was raised by a feminist mother and a feminist father who said I can do anything I want. But even though I get 800 on my college boards in math and went on a full scholarship to Mount Holyoke, they told me out loud, you will not be good at this money stuff, and if you're lucky, you will marry a wealthy man who will take care of it for you. And I totally believe that. I am still climbing out of the hole. A lot of women think like that. They still do. It's amazing. Old messages die slowly. You know, that's it. They really, more slowly than we would like.
One of the more interesting myths about money actually affects women like Donna Andrews. She is very confident with her money skills. Her father made sure of that.
My father owned a restaurant business and had several restaurants, and as a young girl he made me work in the front and in the back, and then as I got a little bit older he would make me sit in the office with him. And I think he just wanted me to see all aspects of the business, not just you know, servicing people and helping in the kitchen, but he wanted me to understand everything. He wanted me to handle money, to feel comfortable with money, and you know, understanding his ledgers. Not that he asked me to do them, but to understand and to feel comfortable with those things, and I am.
Sounds great, but Donna says her dad's obsession with work taught her more than business skills.
My father worked a lot. He wasn't home a lot because he took care of the family, and I missed that. I missed having my dad at home. I missed having family. And so all the men around my father were very, very, very good businessmen. Made a lot of money, but they had the same stories. You know, women had the same sad story at home. And I thought, I don't want that.
Donna's experience taught her that financial success comes at the expense of family, a myth Olivia wants to dispel.
One of my favorites. If I get too good at this money stuff, I'll antagonize intimates, or I might even end up alone. That's for women who are afraid to claim their money power for fear that they will be unpopular and undesired by men in their lives or men who will be in their lives.
Donna says holding on to those old beliefs prevented her from growing her burgeoning photography business.
I allowed myself to stay disorganized on the business end of it because I did not want to acknowledge that I was being, quote, the business owner. I had 4 kids, I was homeschooling, and I didn't want to lose that. I didn't want to lose that family unit, and I just didn't know how to balance the two together. I feared that I would just have to be more like my dad and not be at home and just be tunnel vision. You know, how do you do that when you're, you know, a mom?
While it has taken time, Donna now sees that being more devoted to running her business can work with motherhood. She created a home office that proudly features the same desk her dad used.
I built that actual office, you know. I just stayed scattered, and that was okay because it made me feel like I was still being mom. And now, you know, it's been a growing up.
What are the victories that are to come mastering that room?
I think it's balance. I think to realize that I can be a mom, probably more of a mother than I've been to my kids, and be successful in my business and be organized. You know, I think I'm beginning to see that I can have balance.